Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the HW channel. My name is Dan DP DeBreezy, whatever it is, that's my name. We are here for another UK indie show review. I am here joined by the guy who attended said show. It's RateWrestle.
Yes, RateWrestle.
How you doing? How you doing,
Yeah,
mate?
I'm doing well. Since the last time you asked me 2 videos ago, we've filmed 3 videos today. You filmed 4 by now. What a wonderful time
Yeah.
you're having. We're all about the content here. But yeah, I'm doing well. I'm the same as the Mega Slam video. Check that one out.
Mega Slam. Mega.
Yeah, let's not go back to that. How are you, DB?
Yeah, not too bad since the last time we spoke, which was about 10 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago. Less than that even.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, you attended Rev Pro live in Birmingham.
I did
Is that right?
attend Rev Pro live in Birmingham.
Thank you. From the mill, is that right?
Yes, in Birmingham.
Fantastic. How how was the venue in terms of like, was it packed or was it like friendly or?
So it was located in Birmingham, Digbeth. No, yeah, it was quite. So basically, I'm not like yourself. You try and get to shows very early, whereas I rock up like 10 minutes before it starts half the time. It was seated. Didn't get a seat. It was that rammed. So I was standing behind the 5th row, which I'm not really fussed about. The ring was quite the centre. You could see, obviously, because I'm standing behind sitting people, I can see anyway. It was generally rammed. It was the typical Birmingham crowd, with a few added like New Japan-y kind of guys that obviously with their link to Rev Pro. But yeah, it was somewhere that Kamikaze normally runs, so I'm very familiar with the mill.
Yeah, fair enough. So is there anything to go through before we get into the card?
No, it was in Birmingham.
Cool. Good to clarify that. So with that in mind, we will kick things off with the first match of the night.
In Birmingham.
So we had, yep. So we had a non-title match here. A tag match between the Greedy Souls,
Yes.
Brendan White and Danny Jones, taking on Act 2, Benjamin Harland and Jack Knudsen.
Yeah. So this was a good opener. It was your typical the Greedy Skulls. So a lot of these talent are not Birmingham, as in like they don't come to Birmingham that often. So it's a lot of the fans trying to, unless you watch Red Pro, you're trying to figure out, are these good guys, are these bad guys? Greedy Souls were clearly the villains of the piece. They absolutely wailed upon these kids for most of this match. But then there was a fire comeback. What are the 2 people from Act 2 again? Name them, because I remember that. I know which one's which as soon as you name them. I do apologise.
Benjamin Harland and Jack Knudsen.
Jack Knudsen was the guy that was getting beat down, but he had the fire comeback. He code reds on both guys, like proper, like not snap code reds though, not you typical like full on dropping on the reds. Then there was like a few hot tags, but Greedy Soul became a bit too much for them, and they just absolutely meleeed them. Did a couple of like absolutely incredible double team power moves, and just killed off Jack 2 and picked up the win. Rated 3 stars. Very good opener, especially for people like you said, you're not used to seeing them in Birmingham. So very good opener to get them over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Greedy Souls are like one of my absolute favorite Brit tag teams.
Yeah.
As well, like because they are insanely talented and they don't do anything flashy.
Yeah.
Like, it's pure like technician, mat based sort of wrestling. It's nothing special.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Brendan White's the pick out of them. Oh, Brendan White's brilliant to see. He's just a powerhouse, absolute monster of a man.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think I call him once the British version of FTR.
Yeah, I would go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. But so moving on from that, apparently very good tag match.
Yeah, and I say like for Act 2 were very good as well. Not just throwing it. It's just pretty much Greedy Souls need to batter these people kind of match. But Act 2 did very well.
Yeah. Fair enough. So moving on from there, we go into a singles match, the first of the night. We have Zack Knight against Yota Tsuji.
Yeah, so Yota Tsuji. So last time I was watching Rev Pro, Legion were trying to get Yota Tsuji to join the Legion, but it wasn't happening. Now I'm watching it now, and Yota Tsuji's just full on in the Legion. So Zack Knight was kind of the face here. Like he was trying to get the crowd on board, but people were obviously seeing a New Japan-y kind of guy, and Yota Tsuji was nice to see live. It was pretty much a strike fest, which you'd expect from both guys, both battering each other. Zack Zodiac kind of got on top for a lot of the matchup. Gideon was in the managerial spot for a lot of it, being an absolute melt. And he eventually, Gideon whammed Zat Zodiac in the back of the head with his cane, and Suji just obliterated him and did like a standing foot finish, like as in just stood on him and pinned him. It kind of lost the momentum at the end. I rated 2 3/4. It was getting there, but it lost its momentum in the end, and Suji picked up the win. Zat Zodiac got absolutely whammoed.
Yeah, fair enough. Sounds very much like a Legion shenanigans there.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you're not familiar with them, they do that a lot. Like with Gideon, with Lucian Phillips, with Suji himself as well. Which is surprising because you say that last time you saw it, he weren't joining the Legion.
Yeah, it was like a while ago since I've seen Rev Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just odd. He was suddenly in the Legion. I was like, oh, okay, that story happened.
Because he teamed with Shota Umino in the Great British Tag League last year.
Okay.
Doing this whole like, will Shota join the Legion too, or like, will Yota join the Legion, or will neither join the Legion, or both join the Legion, or whatever. And then eventually Yota just turned on Shota, and then that led to their feud last year.
Okay.
But yeah, just to give a bit of backstory for that. So we move on to the Southside Women's Title match. So we had champion Danny Luna taking on Maria De La Rosa.
So before we kick into this, because obviously I'm not very familiar with, I know Red Pro. I've watched a decent amount of Red Pro. Southside Championship obviously is when they acquired Southside. Is there still a Rev Pro Women's Championship, or is it just Southside? Has it merged now, or?
No. There's still a Rev Pro one held by Alex Windsor.
Yeah, because I know Kanji held the Southside one for years, for ages.
Yeah, she lost it at Uprising in December to Danny Luna, and Alex Windsor they're due to have a match at some point, but Windsor keeps getting injured. So they are meaning to unify them, but just down the head, yeah.
You just can't do it. But yeah, this was pretty much Maria De La Rosa. I've seen her from WXW a few times, and Danny Luna I've saw a lot live before pre-WWE UK. It was pretty much Luna was on top. I didn't know she was a heel till halfway through the match because she got cheered, and then she started being an absolute brat to everyone. It was like, okay, yeah, you're supposed to be the... So everyone got on Maria De Rosa's kind of like cheering her on and so forth like that, but Luna was on top for most of this match. She had a few fire comebacks, but Luna kept putting them down, and then it kind of abruptly ended with Luna just out of nowhere just destroying her with one move. She picked up the win. I rated 2 3/4, but Luna's very good, and I do like Maria De Rosa from what I've seen from her. She's a very good babyface.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Just to go back as well, I think Luna might be more of a tweener.
Rather than a heel. So it's depending on who she's fighting.
Yeah, only because when I saw her, talking to Sky Smitson at London show.
Yeah.
She was more of a face there to Sky's heel.
Yeah.
So I think she's more of a tweener depending on who she faces, like similar to sort of like Luka Jacobs sort of character.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Obviously, depending on who she's facing.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on from that match, which is a very good match as well. Check out. We had another singles match between United Empire's Francesco Akira taking on Kid Like Us 2.
Yeah, so I was really looking forward to this. I've not seen Akira live. Kid Like Us 2 I've seen in both incarnations of himself live, and he's very talented. But Kira, I'm gutted. I'm going to throw it out here. I think it's just because TJP wasn't there. But I didn't get to hear the famous Akira line, take a picture line. I love that line so much when he's on top of the shoulders. But yeah, this was like a very fluid, surprisingly hard-hitting match. Like, you'd expect it more to be like flips, dives, technical brass, but like, absolutely kicked the crap out of each other. Kira was in control because he's more of a veteran to Kid Like Us 2. But Kid Like Us 2, he did a few of the Lycos gym spots, so going for the Brainbuster, shut up Lycos, stop, going for it again, shut up Lycos, stop. Didn't actually hit it in the match, which was good about. Kira did a move on the ramp, the hard like Rev Pro ramp. The usual banter between Lycos that he throws out and that lot, but Kira's kind of overwhelming at this point. Lycos get thrown into the crowd. Kira did a dive, like the crowd didn't know what to do and just about dispersed. And then the awkward thing was there was a guy on the front row. So they did the spot where Kira does the dive, then Lycos run into the ring, and it looked like he was going to do the dive, or vice versa. Sorry, Kira was going to do his dive, and a guy was just standing there facing backwards. So luckily, Lycos, I think the spot was that Lycos was going to stop him anyway. But look, the guy would just got wiped out because the guy was just
Yeah.
facing the other way, just like trying to get his chairs and stuff like. And it's like literally this guy is about to fly. He was perfectly middle as well. I was like, oh, good grief. But luckily,
Yeah.
I think they either changed the spot really quickly or it wasn't actually going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's always a bit of a risk for that sort of thing as well. Like, I always like sort of like if like there's a sort of spot going on,
Yeah.
like then you stay out of the way until they're back in the ring.
Yeah, no,
Like,
definitely. Like, I found out in the next when I was in the second half that you do that. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so it ended with Akira hitting a double back knee on the back of his head, it like the hidden blade, but with knees. And he picked up the win. I rated that 3 3/4. Very, very good match. Both guys are great, and Akira's just phenomenal to see live.
yeah, fair enough. That makes absolute sense. I saw Akira back in January last year at High Stakes. He fought, I think it was Gabe Kidd actually at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had a phenomenal match back then, and so seeing Akira on obviously on New Japan and New and Strong and all that, like he's amazing. Like he's so good.
No, yeah, definitely. Like Akira is incredible,
Mhm.
especially United Empire since he's been on there, and
Yeah.
Kid like us too, just great talent.
Yeah, very good. So was Locos one by the was he there by the way?
No,
Oh, okay, cool.
just solo
Um,
loco.
fair enough. So moving on from there, we go into the last tag match of the night. I think last was only two, but last one. We had BBB,
Yep,
Mirko Mori and Nico Inverardi
yep.
taking on the Legion, we'll say Gideon Gray and Will Caven.
Yep. So previous to this, Gideon came down to the ring and he announced that Lucian Phillips was supposed to be his tag partner, but Lucian Phillips didn't want to come to Birmingham, so we ended up having Will Caven. What was funny as well, I somehow ended up in the front row. My mate just I saw him on the other side and he came to speak to me at half time and he went, "Oh yeah, there's a spare seat front row." And I was like, "Yep, here we go." So second half front row.
Oh yeah. Oh, great, there we go.
So what was funny as well, look, I don't know who Will Caven is. Half the crowd didn't know who Will Caven was, and then my mate was just like, because obviously getting Gray likes to wind up the crowd. Like everyone was going who, and then he looked at my mate and he went like, "Don't you watch Rev Bro?" And like they went, "No, not really." And he went, "Well, I don't know what to tell you." He just literally, like, I think he was expecting the answer, "Yeah, well, you should know him." Then he's like, "No,
Yeah.
oh."
Yeah, I think Caven's only been in a pro at least recently, anyway.
Yeah, he has a Alex Zane look of him.
Yeah, yeah, he does. He's very much involved in the cruiserweight scene. Last year he fought with Luke Jacobs. Mine's blanking now. Robbie X.
Yeah.
As well. So they're the sort of guys he fights, and he's been fighting for the cruiserweight title as of late.
So he was announced as the heavy hitter, which is random to what you've just said. So, and they were fighting BBB, two Italian gentlemen debuting for Rev Pro. Marco Murati is very much the most stereotypical sounding Italian guy in my life. He sounds, it's really like bad. Like, do you know when you can think of a really dodgy Italian accent? It sounds like he's putting it on, but it actually is his accent. It was pretty much like a funny comedy match. Obviously, you had Gideon Gray involved, so it was always going to be that lot. BBB have got great offense. There was a few comedy spots. One of the guys got wiped out in the front row where we were, and then there was beer everywhere on the ground, everywhere.
Oh,
It was
no.
like puddles of beer. And then guttedly, Will Caven got thrown on the outside, landed in this puddle of beer, and he just suddenly, like he was selling his knee, and went, "Oh, it's all wet. Why is it so wet? What's that?" And then someone said it's beer, and he went, "I'm never going to get this out my tights. I'm never going to get it out." It was just yeah, so out of character. It's never going to come out. BBB ended up picking up the win because Zach Zodiac returned the favour and did a distraction on the Legion tag team. I rated 2.5. It was just a comedy match. It was there for what it was, but it wasn't a great match. It was just average bang up matchup.
Yeah, fair enough. And they're Italian, right? You said
Yeah, very, very Italian.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's quite interesting to see the influx of foreign talent that they're bringing in Repro. Because recently, obviously, you have Maria de la Rosa here as well, but London show had Arrows of Hungary, who are Hungarian, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting to see the influx they've had, and also like Kira, even though he has the Neutron connection, he's also Italian,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just quite interesting to see the influx of European talent coming in.
Yep. They don't like English people.
Neither do I, to be fair. So
Moving on.
no, moving on to the semi-main of the show.
Semi-man, yeah.
We had Gabriel Kidd taking on Michael Oku.
Yep. So this was a bit of a banger. So Gabriel Kidd absolutely was annoyed for some mad reason. He was just like, I'm guessing it's just how he is now, but he absolutely just canned the crap out of Michael Oku. He did basically within 10 seconds of the match, he already had Michael Oku in there off Boston Crab. Like full on, but like knee in the top of the head, like wrenching in, like Oku's leg was in his hand up here and his body was down here. That's how deep he had it in. I was thinking, oh, they're just going to quickly, is Oku going to tap to his own move? Absolute whamming each other, banging strikes, chop fest. Oku was getting battered. I think Oku's kind of thing is that most of his matches he gets eliminated in and he fires back, which it seems like from what I've seen. Absolutely whamming each other. Kidd was doing like the lariat. Oku was trying to defend himself, getting back. He eventually got on top and he got him into the game over. And you thought Gabriel was going to tap, and he just the Oku's manager was outside. Amira, and she was just shouting crap at Gabriel Kidd while he was in the Boston Crab. He just about reached the ropes. And it ended in a double count out because what happened was Michael Oku lifted up Gabriel Kidd for a suplex. They both fell over the top rope in the suplex. And it ended up in like a double count out. I rated 4 stars. Absolutely insanity for like 10-15 minutes. And Gabriel Kidd kind of walked out on his own volition, and Michael Oku had to be carried out, like absolutely injured. Yeah, like I'm guessing it was a storyline injury. I don't think he was injured, but absolutely grueling 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely, that's absolutely fair. Like these two were always going to have a banger on paper, and I'm glad that it did transpire that way. They did have a banger.
Yep, and there's obviously going to be a rematch at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. But speaking of bangers, we follow on with what I assume is another one, on paper at least anyway. We have Will Ospreay against Luke Jacobs in the main event.
I rated 2 stars. No, it's fucking incredible. So obviously, Luke Jacobs, he's kind of like a localish hero to be like the crowd love him, and then Will Ospreay's Will Ospreay, so it doesn't matter. He's just a returning son every time he comes back because he wrestled a lot for Kamikaze. Will Ospreay. So it started out with them just full on going for it. Like head strike fest. Luke Jacobs like chop central, but they were just getting louder and louder. And I was saying to him, I was getting nervous from every chop. Do you know when you have that nervous laugh where it's like, oh god, every time it was like, oh. Then Will Ospreay took in control some of his dives. There was a fun spot where he dived outside, and then this girl was trying to chat crap at him. Then he got really annoyed. He picked up Luke Jacobs, walked him over to the girl, full on chopped him in front of her, and went, "What now?" It was like, oh my god, this girl was like 18. Absolutely got in the ring, started KOing each other, like the high spots. Luke Jacobs lariat, which flipping turned inside, Will Ospreay inside out. A few near falls, and then there was a spot which kind of turned the match a bit south. So basically, Will Ospreay did a sunset flip off the top rope. Luke Jacobs' head whammed off the floor, and then he went for I think it was the Stormbreaker. I might miss some moves out here. He went for the Stormbreaker, and then Luke Jacobs, he got the 1-2, and then his arm just literally lifted off the mat, like literally like that, just barely any kind of movement. I think prior to that, he hit the landslide as well, trying to pin him, but Luke Jacobs kept kicking out because I think he wasn't aware what was going on. Then eventually, he kind of like ended it with the hidden blade, but like a pretty much like not like a full-on hidden blade, like a kind of thingy, and he pinned him. I rated
Yeah.
4 3/4, but it was just like awful. The ending at the same time, like very very good match, and it was like 19 minutes. But you could, I'm assuming it was supposed to go like 30 odd minutes. Because afterwards Ospreay spent like 10 minutes in the ring speaking to everyone. But Luke Jacobs, yeah, straight after the match, like Ospreay, like the gentleman he is, he was right next to Luke Jacobs' side, trying to make sure he was all right and stuff like that. The EMD medic came out like there. Jacobs was gone, like he was. Mentally, he wasn't there. Well, Ospreay walked him to like the entrance, and they kind of carried him out. Everyone was on their feet, clapping and stuff, because it was an incredible 20 minutes of a match. I read it 4 3/4, like it's so incredible, especially for something that wasn't supposed to end that way. Then, as said, like Will Ospreay, I don't know if it'll be on. I'm guessing they'll end the show at that point, and then he had like 10 minutes of Will Ospreay just basically saying this is like our debut and thinking that this kind of stuff happens in wrestling. And then he was just speaking like, "Do you want us back here?" He spoke to the girl in the crowd and went, "Are we all right now?" It's just like, sometimes I've just got to be a dick. That's what he was saying. It's wrestling. And then he was just doing the thingy, and then the music hit off, and he walked off, and that was the end of the show. But honestly, for a match that ended like that was such a banger of the match, like I rated 4 3/4 stars. If it I think it was supposed to go a bit longer, it would easily hit 5 stars. Will Ospreay's a machine. But yeah, great ending to the show. Match-wise, not for what actually happened. DP? Well, this is awkward. Anyway, so DP's ended the recording on his side, it seems like. So I'm going to move back into a full screen view. And we're going to not edit this as we would usually do. So please like and subscribe. Rev Pro was awesome. Please check that out. DP's mug just looks really angry all the time for the rest of this video. So as usual, like and subscribe. We'll be going to more shows as we can go along. The JJ Gale interview should be up by now with DP. I've got an interview coming up with James Ellis, which should be announced by this point. James Ellis, the Welsh son. We've got a few more previews coming out with Kamikaze, reviews with Alex Connors once again. I'm doing Kumite in Derby, deathmatch show, which I'm really looking forward to. That'll be my first time I'm seeing them. But as usual, as I said, like and subscribe. We'll be back once again. So goodbye from DP. Oh my god. And he's just disappeared completely off the screen, and it's ruined everything now. So goodbye from DP, and goodbye from me. I guess I'm on the camera. You might be able to see me. Yep. Goodbye from me too.